Hello. My fuck. Hello, my name is Tolg, and I exist, therefore I think too much. I am reading The Mirror of Simple Souls by Marguerite Porete. I am on chapter 26. I'll probably read chapter 26 and 27. They seem reasonably sized. And I rant while I read. It's not simply me just reading the thingy. Sometimes I cuss, Enjoy yourself if you want. Exist as you like. Okay. So chapter 26. She also has a writing style where it is essentially in the format of a conversation. And this one starts with love speaking. It's titled, How This Soul Loves Nothing Except for the Sake of the Love of God. It's like, I only love it because you exist. And because you exist, that's why I will love it. Ouchie. It's kind of miserable. Alright, so love speaks. Such a soul no longer loves anything in God, nor will she love anything, however noble it may be, if it is not solely for the sake of God, and for the sake of what he wills, and for the sake of God in all things, and all things for the sake of the love from him. How is God capable of being omnipotent, omniscient, and omnipresent unless God is infinite? And if God is infinite, then why in the fuck would you not love all things? That would be loving God. That's also, I say this a good amount to my stepmom, whom I'm sure is so knowledgeable in her own way. I don't even know why I say it. It's just like an inner thing that I probably need to work on. But to love one is not to love another. Love does not need to be stagnant or similar. It's an emotion that is purely individual per the situation or the person or the thing. So to love your table is not to love your neighbor, but it is love all the same. And through such love is this soul alone in the pure love of the love of God. Pure love is also capitalized. I'm also not sure why there has been, 20 chapters in, such a sentiment of rarity. Scarcity, rarity increases the value of something, sure. And I can appreciate an ego's attempt at, indicating specialized differences so as to save one's understanding of oneself. But if you wanted what God wanted and love for the sake of God, wouldn't your goal not be rarity? And I'm not agreeing with mission work here, but I am saying, wouldn't you at least want God to be loved? And enjoy the most love? Such a soul is so transparent and in understanding that she sees herself to be nothing in God and God nothing in her. I believe that was less a means of wordplay and more a means of protective humility. Now give attention, noble lovers, to the one dwelling through meditation on love. without creaturely hearing. For such meditation which the soul takes in love without willing any of love's gifts, called consolations. Why is the soul being consoled? Which comfort the soul by the feeling of the sweetness of prayer. Such meditation teaches the soul, and no other practice teaches her except pure love. For whoever would wish the comforts of God through the feeling of consolation, the consolations will impede the enterprise of fine love. Why would God feel the need to console you? What is happening? What did we miss? Why is there consolation perceived as being needed? Alright, chapter 27. How meditation on pure love has only one intent alone. Meditation has only one intent alone. Love speaks. Meditation on pure love has only one intent alone, which is that the soul love always loyally without wishing to have anything in return. Prior chapter just said that the soul does not love, except for the sake of the love of God. Can you love God if you love only for the love of God? Do you love God? And I guess if there's anyone to make an ideal out of, wouldn't it be God? I guess. And the soul can do this only if she is without herself, for loyal love would not deign to have any consolations which might come from her own seeking. So she's consoling herself. Without fail not. That's one sentence and I'm confused by it. Meditation on love knows well according to the better part that she must not excuse herself from her work, which is to will perfectly the will of God. She allows God to work and to do what is according to his will. Yeah, okay. For the one who wills that God cause him to experience God's will in comforts does not trust perfectly in God's goodness alone, but in the gifts of his riches, which he has to give. Yeah, I can agree with that. It sounds pompous, but I agree with it. Because I'm often called, I don't say I'm a Christian, I'm agnostic. But because I'm often understood to not be Christian, I am called, a witch and whatever else. To which, having been raised Christian, my response has always been, my relationship with my God is my relationship, not yours. And I trust that God so much that if that God were to send me to a hell or whatever exists, I wouldn't necessarily like it, but I would trust in that God to put me where I need to be. And that is the relationship between me and my God. And it's not for anybody else to design or to concern themselves with, because it's not their relationship. They should be concerned with their own relationship with their God. So the soul responds, and without fail, says the soul, whoever would love well would not remember to take nor to ask, but instead always would wish to give without retaining anything in order to love loyally. For whoever would have two goals in one same work will enfeeble the one for the other. If you love and you receive gifts, wouldn't it hurt the other person that you deny their gifts on the premise of you just want to continue to give to them? And I don't mean to, lessen God to the position of being human, but that is my only understanding. Not that God is human, but being human is my only understanding. And if I were giving to someone And that someone kept saying, no, 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 don't, you keep what's yours. You keep what's yours. Just accept from me, please. Just accept from me. You know, it'd be really insulting. Incredibly infuriating. I want to take care of you too. Why can't I? Why won't you let me? And so loyal love has only one sole intent, that she might always be able to love loyally. That makes sense. For she has no doubt about the love of her lover, that he always does what is best, but she doubts that she would always do what she must do. And she wills accordingly, only that the will of God be done in her. Being afraid of your own weakness is fine, but like in that you trust in a God that is everything. Shouldn't you trust your weakness to that God? I'm not saying you should indulge a weakness, but you should allow yourself some grace. And in that grace, allow also for being able to grow past whatever is a weakness. But if you continue to be afraid and be steered away from doing things because of that fear, then you're certainly not capable of growing, because you're just denying the thing that is a weakness. Ignoring it doesn't make it better. Love responds, she is righteousness, says love, for that is everything. And also of her own power she cannot will anything, for her will is no longer her own nor in her, but instead is in the one who loves her. And this is not her work, but instead is the work of the whole Trinity, who works his will in such a soul. I think it's wrong to say that it would not be her act of meditation, but God's act of meditation. Like, yes, it's correct technically to say that God is meditating when you meditate, because you are a part of God, but also you are, you do exist, and annihilating your existence is annihilating the creation. If you do believe God to be a creator, and your creator, then annihilating your existence is to annihilate the creation that God made. So how can you say you love that God if what you aim to do is destroy what that God created? Because you don't trust it. And it can never be good. Isn't that really insulting? That kind of spells out that you don't trust it. It's like a point of contention that I have with Christianity is this hatred of the secular. I mean, not to say it so poorly, but it translates to this hatred of the world. God created the world. And, this whole belief of Eden being the perfect place on earth and waiting for heaven to come down to earth is denying that earth was ever created by your God. At all. How can you even begin to understand your God if you deny what your God did? How can you love your God if you refuse to understand your God? All right. So there is that. I hope you do well. Drink well, eat well, sleep well, be well, and may your wants align with your needs. Bye-bye.